Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagavan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha or Adhomuha, unborn, beyond form, formlessness. Is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation, not just creation getting created, even sustenance need to be created, destruction need to be created, and pulling out of delusion need to be created, liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, trobhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 phase, Ishana Murti as 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti as 5 phase, Agora Murti has 5 phase, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phase. So, Tatpurusha Murti as is 5 phase, Agora Murti has is 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti has is 5 phase, Satyojata Murti has is 5 phase, Ishana Murti has is 5 phase. All these 5 Murtis, 5 phases put together is 25 phases of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagavan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient Enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam has made science of our manifestation, yoga, temple-based university for humanity, Sovereign Order of Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam and Nithyananda Order of Monks, Nuns, Hindu diasporas are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nithyananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time capsuling, decoding, spreading and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamalapita Sarvanyapita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagavan now explains who is His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva Gana. All the Shiva Ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva. choose your guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity, which is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. Diksha, or the initiation from His Divine Holiness, Nithyananda Paramashiva, makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars, and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashiva, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakshi Pramanas, or the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees, and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas, or the scientific studies which can be measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Powerful cognition from Bhagavad Gita decoded. Hated and loved are the opposite sides of the same coin. Hatred and love are the opposite sides of the same coin. As long as love is conditional, love can flip into hatred in any moment. The moment we feel that our expectations are threatened in love of this type, there is an external rejoicing, sharing of joy and happiness, public expression of the happiness as long as the emotion remains. Often the love of what we believe is the love related to time and space. So long as the distance is larger than the time of contact, it is minimal. We see the few defects in those we possess profess to the love. Once we get closer and spend more time, we see the real picture. It can also convert love into hatred. To transcend love and hatred, which are the two different expressions of the same perceived reality, we need to drop expectation. We need to develop the sense of non-attachment. We need to complete in our love. We all go through the several stages of relationship in our lifetime as children. We totally depend upon parents. Our parents influence us, and our love for our parents is conditional love. Them only because there is no option. To survive, child must depend upon the parents. As we grow into adolescence, we question many things we took for granted as an infant or a child. Therefore, the teenager rebel. They wish to be independent. They break rules. In the adulthood, we learn that to survive and coexist, we need to follow social rules and regulation. We develop the skill to get along with others. We learn to work and relate with others. Otherwise, we may become misfit in society. For the single most important lesson that people learn in adulthood is that it is important to relate with people meaningfully. As we grow and mature, and the spirit and its development becomes important. We seek guidance. We look for a master. With the master, the relationship is to reverse of what we started with as a child. We are once again concerned about the survival, but it is survival of the spirit, not the mind or the body. To help this survival of the spirit, the relationship that we need with the master is one absolute dependence once again. But with the difference of relationship to work, it now needs to be totally unconditional and based upon the deep trust. The only relationship that will work with the master is the total and unconditional love out of completion. It's absolute surrender. Surrender transcends love and hate. When one is in the mood of total surrender to the master or the divine, both being now one and the same, the concept of good, evil, sin, merit disappears. Bhagavan gives a very powerful space of how we are conditioned by love and hatred as we grow up with the parents, and how it's important to live beyond that. When you are with the master, just surrender to the master, and simply the surrender will break, transcend the love and hate. When we totally surrender the master, the divine, to the divine, just opens up in a next dimension for us. The ultimate, Bhagavan beautifully says, will you become me? From the depth dimension, he says, to understand that is more and more living the identity as Paramashiva rather than a person who is in love with Swamiji. The more and more, it is not the person who is in love with Swamiji, but Paramashiva himself manifesting as an extension of Bhagavan himself. Bhagavan beautifully says, a sun rays, each one is a sun ray, and each one is manifesting in its own way and it in its own possibility. The ultimate beautiful relation between the master and the disciple becomes one and the same, and there is no both after that. It becomes one and the same. That's what Bhagavan here beautifully says. With that, let's go to the Shastra Pramana. Shastra Pramana for the power of will to change. Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.13. Icha Shakti Ruma Kumari. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, his will is the energy of Shiva, and it is called Uma, the independent power of Paramashiva, and it is called Kumari, the cosmic energy that plays. Bhagavan beautifully says, whoever surrenders their identity and they are ready to be in the oneness of Paramashiva as the only identity they are going to exist, and they do not have any other agenda, strategic plan, but just be in the space of oneness with Paramashiva during do either the bhakti, the space of oneness, anything they can experience, but living in that space of not clutched with anything else other than the Paramashiva space in them will simply make them one and the same with the Guru. That is what Bhagavan gives us a very powerful cognition. How Manikavachkar, Trilinga Swami, or Andal, they just disappeared into the physical stone deity because of the love they had. Sonnapadi Kele Perumal was one of the Vishnu deity which just walked when the Alvar called him to get up and come with him. We have so many references in so many temples where the stone deity, include Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, when he spoke to the Kali to show her hand to wear the bangle, she just did. He used to feed her like how we feed the kids. That is all possible, and so many references are there, is because how they felt the oneness to that extent, they don't feel different from them, and they feel that divine oneness which puts them into higher states of consciousness, bringing them to the reality of oneness with Paramashiva. Again and again, he gives how Manikavachikar, Appar, Sundarar, Nayanamars, Alvars, how they lived just for that oneness space as their identity, again and again surrendering whatever thought comes to them, that is not them. The mind is creating it, and I am Paramashiva, I am in oneness with Bhagwan. That is my only source, and that is my only way to exist. When he went on saying that, you become that, and all the identities, all the love which is based on the greed, fear, attachment, possessing, all that just disappears, and simply the pure love which radiates starts manifesting through you. Bhagavan gives a very powerful cognition how they all lived in deep love, forgetting anything and everything just in the space of their master Arunagiri Yogeshwara, like Swamiji, or Paramashiva, how they feel in deep love with the whole. Bhagavan himself says that how he was relating to Arunagiri Yogeshwara was deep love, like his own self radiating as Arunagiri Yogeshwara. So, with this powerful cognition, let's go to the Apta Pramana. Power of changing the eyes of others. This is from Mahabharata, Vanaparva, section 57. Nala was the ruler of Nishada. Damayanti was the daughter of the king Vidarbha. Damayanti's father announced for a Swayamvara. News of Swayamvara reached even the gods in the heaven, the Devatas, Indras, kings of Lord Agni, Lord of fire, Varna, Lord of water, Yama, god of underworld, had also heard Damayanti's charms. They too decided to attend the Swayamvara. The hour of the Swayamvara arrived. The royal invites were gathered in the hall. As she passed them, and name of each king was announced to her. Without stopping, she went to where Nala was seated. There were 5 men seated before her who looked exactly like Nala. How could this be? In a flash of Damayanti guessed who the men were. They were in the 4 gods who had taken the form of Nala. Damayanti saw the change happening. The hall was crowded and hot. She and everyone also had begun the sweet, but 4 of the Nala looked alike, had not a drop of perspiration on their forehead. Their eyes did not blink at all, and their feet, as if not meant for this earth, were not resting on the ground, but over it. The flowers in her garland were as fresh it had just been plucked. Hot sunlight was streaming in, causing the shadow to fall sideways. But the 4 men cast no shadows. The gods had disguised themselves to Damayanti. Nala sat beside them, light sweat covering his face, his garland withering in the heat, his eyes blinking naturally. His feet were on the ground, and Damayanti looked at the precious shadow he cast with a joy and thankfulness. She put the garland around the Nala's neck. So beautifully, how she was able to see the disguised people different from Nala. The powers they had and manifested in changing the form, changing the way they are, changing their whole identity to do what they want to do. was the way how they lived. Now let's go to the Atma Pramana, Bhagwan's Leela.
Listen, this is the essence of the whole session. This is the will persistence means decision not to give up on you. Decision not to give up on your intention to be. Listen. There are only two parts in your inner space. One, will persistence. Another one, giving up. Either you give life to the thought current of giving up or to the will persistence. Your decision to give life only to will persistence and not to give life to giving up thought current is all I call will persistence. Listen. Actually, it's too easy. The truth is, it's too easy. Because you are giving life to giving up thought current, then persistence. Giving up thought current, then persistence. That is when it becomes complicated. It is like you create a terrorist group for some purpose and then you send your army to kill them. You create a terrorist group and then you send your army to kill them. Then world will never have peace. In your inner space you do the same political game. For right or wrong reasons. For good or bad. You support giving up pattern. You cherish sometime without even you knowing. Only when you are about to fail, collapse, you wake up, oh, not this, not this. Having an alarm in your life to remind you and hold you without letting you fall is equivalent to having a guru. Guru is all about that only. An alarm which rings every day between 8 to 9. Reminding you constantly not to fall. And empower will persistence, that current. Listen. Listen. The last LSP session, I told, iron out all your pains, all your ideas, all your concepts with this truth of will persistence, because tons of your pains, incompletions, patterns are due to will arrogance, not will persistence. Even when you are making a decision, half of you holds yourself saying, I am going to fail, why to put all the energy in that? And you don't put all the energy and you fail and you confirm, see, I told you that black cat was running behind and the white crow was on the top. When I came out, All these bad omen, and it will not work out, and it did not work out, you see. All the fellows who believe in bad omen are the bad omen. No, really. People who believe in this bad omen are the bad omen for life. For the cosmos, they are bad omen. If the black cat is running in front of you, it has one important meaning. That fellow is running for his food. Nothing more than that. Don't make a Shastra out of your stupidity. No, really. All of us have our own Shastra, built out of our powerlessness and stupidity, wrong facts. Now, I have seen some people believe the day they shave, that whole day will be bad day for them. Now, there are some people who believe. There are some people who believe the day they take bath will be a bad day for them.
If you could design your life exactly the way you want it to be, what would
day? If I shave, that day will be bad day. Please understand, this bad omen is not a small subject. It is equivalent to the placebo effect in the medical field. How the circuit of the placebo effect functions. The placebo effect is nothing but when your consciousness believes something, it manifests. Placebo effect is not that simple as the West tells you. It's a very powerful way your psychology and physiology functions, the way both of them coordinate with each other. Listen. Any disease, any doctor, any medicine, any therapy, allopathy, homeopathy, siddha, ayurveda, allopathy, allapathy, allallopathy, ayoyopathy, it can be any pati. Patnipati, Itlipati, Chatnipati, any pati it can be. 40% of the people simply get healed. No, really. Because their system believes something is done to them. They are attended and they are healing. It's not a joke. It's a very, very powerful mechanism of physiology and psychology. That is exactly the same thing happens during these omens, these bad omens, good omens. And the big secret Bible you keep inside and go on verify every day. Today how it's going to be, oh, I saw this fellow with a black dress in the morning itself. Ayyo, I don't know what all I am going to face today. No, I saw this fellow with a big vibhuti, kumkum, a very auspicious guy. Today I think it will be peaceful and good. You have your own secret Bible inside, constantly to verify. The whole thing is junk and your powerlessness. If you see your life, so much of pain points are created due to this unconscious woman's will arrogance. Listen. Will arrogance. I'll give you one more example. You read somewhere, If you chant this mantra 10 times, whatever you ask will happen. When you start itself, let me check and see. I think all these foolish things go in the Facebook. But let me try. While you are chanting itself, by the time you have done the third, fourth, missed, and then again you started, dum 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 dum, and then again started, somehow you finish. And then that instruction says, share this photo. And you share, and then wait. You are just waiting to prove it's not going to work out. And then after 48 hours, you prove nothing works out. Oh, I created a will, but did not work out. Most of your relationship with unknown, cosmos, God, life is play of will arrogance. And slowly, slowly, you lose faith, trust, belief over your will. And you start believing your will never become reality. Please understand, you never manifest what you desire. You manifest only what you believe.
Beautiful. Bhagwan said you only manifest what you believe. Now here, Shastra Pramanas are the initiated disciple devotees all over the world manifesting the power and sharing their testimonials. Here from Gatta Pass, she says, Dear Swamiji, I'm able to read the pulse rate accurately and able to alter the eye color from yellow to blue, yellow, brown to green for non-Mahasadashivam participants. Finally, this week, the color of the transformation as she expected. Attached are the pictures here. Thank you, Swamiji. So she has changed the color of the eyes from brown to gray or blue.
Shastra Pramana, scientific studies what can be measured, measuring the effect of being in enlightenment state. The signs of power of will. The signs of power of will. Science say that eye color is a character determined by two distinct factors: the pigmentation of the eye's iris and the frequency dependence of the scattering of light. In humans, the pigmentation of the iris varies from light brown to black, depending on the concentration of melanin in the iris, which is determined by our DNA. The appearance of blue and green, as well as hazel eyes, result from the Tyndall scattering of light. Eye color varies depending on the lighting conditions, especially for lighter colored eyes. Epigenetics is a study of heritable changes that do not involve DNA sequence, but DNA expression alterations. DNA, methylation, histone, acetylation. These alterations are triggered by different factors such as nutrition, behavior, physical activity, working habits, smoking, and alcohol consumption. Stress meaning the very quality of our state of consciousness. Health is your nature. You don't need to create it. You just need to remember it. Then the epigenome starts to realign itself. From the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Consciousness alters your DNA.
The epigenetics. They have done so much of research on this field, on this epigenome. Epigenome is a protein particle responsible for your genes and all the happenings based on genes. Please understand, we are always taught genes are responsible for our diseases. No, it's not true. Even your DNA is not responsible. The quality of your consciousness is responsible. The quality of consciousness can directly change DNA. Asan Church very beautifully proves even the persistent diseases handed over to you by the previous generations, like cancer, sugar, blood pressure, heart diseases, even they can be just altered, changed, transformed by the quality of your consciousness. Another research proves only 35% of your DNA is responsible, only 35%, for what you are, who you are, how you are, and all the major factors like your longevity, disease, health and everything. Only 35%. The science of epigenetics and the epigenome opens a new door to the great truths declared by Patanjali and Swatmarama. Patanjali in Raja Yoga Sutras and Swatmarama in Hatha Yoga Sutras. Shiva Sutras says very clearly, the man who is in perfect health just by his nisangalpa, means the intentionless consciousness, can transmit that to a human being or any being.
For the power of changing the color of the eyes for others, make sure there's camera. And if you have Jnananjan, keep it ready. If you have a mirror, please keep it ready. Ask the partner to have the mirror. Jnananjan, if you have it, keep it ready. And you can explain to the partner what you are going to do. Before you start, make sure, take few moments to set up your camera. Download the timestamp app. Click on the video. Ensure the timestamp is shown on the screen vividly and clearly. Make sure the camera is facing you, the partner, and probably the mirror for a beautiful recording for such an important moment. Please take a few minutes to set it up to capture the power manifestation. Guidelines for manifesting the power of changing the color of the eye for other person. Make sure the other person is available on the other side. Turn on the video recording and both of you are on the camera. Make sure if you have Jnananjan to apply between your eyebrows. Step 3, visualize Swamiji and bring awareness to your eyebrows, the middle of your eyebrows. Step 4, have the partner to sit across from you. Step 5, gaze intensely at the partner's eyes. Step 6, through the power of will to change the color of the partner's eyes, you can manifest either a darker or lighter shades, and any shade that has changed is manifestation happening. Step 7, share your videos and with others and listen to others' experiences of power manifestation. Power manifestation instructions. Let's sit straight, the head, neck and back in a straight line, so that beautifully the Kundalini energy raises to the Agnya where the manifestation happens. Usually our awareness is on Muladhara, Swadhisthana and Manipuraha, where navel center, your below navel center. Here, bringing the awareness to your third eye and sitting straight will give us amazing possibility of power manifestation. Now let's understand few words that Bhagavan is repeatedly using. Shaktipada, oneness, be unclutched, initiation. So here first we will see in Bhagavan's words what is Shaktipada.
Let me give an introduction about what is Shaktipada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and our egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and hen used to sit on the egg and the chicken will come out of the egg. See, same way, Sadashiva, sitting means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hen sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen, same way. You may think, how come, what is going on here? That hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen, the egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside. It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence, the Shaktipada, makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained Shaktipada, how individual soul becomes cosmic soul. And let's listen to initiation.
You see, let me explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now, you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me, why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. This all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you, before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminder. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes these external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just a nice way of escaping from yourself.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained initiation. Let's listen to be unclutched. What is to be unclutched?
The thoughts, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small. You think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shared form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. change the gear. Whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever. Whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, between every thought, you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thought. Between every thought. That neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you, between every thought, the gap of the thought, the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand you are unconnected, independent, illogical, and unclutched by your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you, neutral space which exists in you. You will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. You need to understand one more thing. This technique of being unclutched, it does miracles in your being. In the body level, or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, when you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are unclutched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump. The transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just one jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
The oneness space is the most beautiful space that Bhagavan himself is explaining how we are ferocious. Beyond the tiredness and boredom, we can experience the space of oneness and be unclutched.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. An idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Agama, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space, means you should become ferocious with you and break this very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break
the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level, visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, it just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens, and the oneness from imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
The most important, Bhagavan says, being unclutched, understanding the Shaktipada, the oneness space, and chanting the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya, the power of the Mahavakya, pushes you into the higher states of consciousness. Here Bhagavan himself explains how we can experience the Shaktipada, raised higher consciousness, through Mahavakya.
It's one of the very important revelation by Sadashiva. All the electronic equipments work when the electrons are made to vibrate. That happens by the light. When the electricity is supplied, the light particle vibrates, the electronic equipment starts working. Just like that, the spiritual power and the umbilical cord connection, spiritual umbilical cord connection between you and me, it works with sound particle. For example, my integrity with the cosmos, Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva, it reverberates in certain level of frequency. When you are integrated to me, you also start reverberating in the same frequency. If your integrity goes down, that is when you start connecting with me only as a manager or this organization head or your Purvashram father, mother. Your connection with me goes down to the lower level if the integrity gets reduced. I was wondering, what is the way we can bring people to the higher integrity immediately and the feeling connection, so they start manifesting the powers, they start staying in the space of Sadashivatva. Sadashiva revealed a beautiful sound. I can tell you, this is like a password. At any point, if you are not able to bring yourself to oneness, you are a little shaken, disturbed, or for some reason, you are not able to bring yourself to oneness. This is like a password. You type, whether your mind feels connected or not, the energy will start flowing in you beyond the depth dimension. You see, all mind oscillation, restlessness, all mental idea based feeling connected or not feeling connected is only length, breadth, depth level, not in the space level. But this sound will straight infuse energy from the space level. Like for example, if the power goes off, automatically the generator will get switched on and the power supply will be going on. So end result will not be lost. Whether government power supply or the generator power supply, end result will not be stopped. So whenever you feel little that oneness is, you are not catching it, just feed this password. Immediately the oneness will open up and you will start manifesting the powers, energy, and the whole space will shift. It is directly from Sadashiva. It's a beautiful sound. I don't even want to say it's a mantra. It is not even a mantra because there is no meaning in it. You can't derive a meaning for it. It just flashed.
like a password for all the initiations I am giving. One single password for all the initiations I am giving. And the initiations I gave, I am giving, I will be giving for all that. This is like one password. Don't even repeat like a mantra. Just feed like a password and it will just open up. Your whole being will open up. Listen carefully. It starts with the vibration Om. Listen and then repeat. Om. Very deep. Om. Nithyananda. Nithyananda. Maha Sadashivoham.
So Bhagavan gave beautiful explanation of how you can be in Shaktipada. Visualize Paramashiva who has come down as Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam from Kailasha. Remembering Paramashiva in your third eye, again and again, bringing your awareness to your third eye simply makes you manifest powers. Absolute unclutching. How Bhagavan said, the neutral zone, nothing ever touches the screen. Like same way, the movie does not touch the screen, whether it is happening in ferocious or any soft, beautiful, nothing touches the screen. Be unclutched like the screen. And to experience the state of Paramashiva, your inner space being completely unclutched. Complete completion to experience the space of Paramashiva. Inside us, the complete completion happens when we are in tune with Paramashiva. That everything is redundant and irrelevant. The essence of completion is irrelevant. Nothing matters in your life because everything is complete completion. Oneness with Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, in ferocious breaking the boredom and tiredness, just being in the space of oneness with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Tyaga as Paramashiva is your only strength, now declaring complete integrity with Bhagavan to experience the being of Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, chanting the Mahavakya raises your frequency and that is your only strength to manifest any reality. Being in this beautiful space of Paramashiva, you can experience such a beautiful space, state, powers, and becoming the being of Paramashiva, manifesting whatever you want. Now, you will be manifesting the powers, watching the oneness capsule, and chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. We'll be playing the Mahavakya and the oneness capsule for you to manifest powers. At end of the Mahavakya, you can start with the verification and sharing and causing. Thank you.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nithyananda Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Verification process for changing the color of the eye of the other person. Verify that no video editing is done for the Shastra Pramana videos. Make sure Video is not stopped and restarted in the process of manifestation. Step 3, make sure all the videos and verification have timestamp. Step 4, all the videos should have the wide angle views to cover you and your partner. Make sure very clear and before and after photo is taken. Close-up photo of the eye is taken. Make sure the area you film has the Shastra Pramana is bright and clear and well lit. Step 7, make sure not to use any digital modification app like Adobe Effect to lighten or darken the eyes. Make sure it is completely authentic, and thank you for participating in the power manifestation. We are at the end of the power manifestation, but most important part of the power manifestation. Here, we are going to share all that you have manifested with the social media groups. Here we have Sri Kailasha Kotyar Manifesting Power Groups. Thousands of people are part of that. And you can share there and you can post your powerful cognition and the videos. The link is tinyurl.com/powermanifestation. It is at the left corner of the page. You can click on it and you can post your beautiful experience in the power manifestation group. Why sharing and causing is very important part of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explains that sharing is pulling us out of delusion and causing is liberating us. We are the ones who need to start experiencing the higher states of reality, how we need to exist. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains when you are sharing with others the ultimate beautiful multidimensional logic, your brain rewires into the higher space of consciousness, the Turyatita state. Again and again, when you experience even a little bit, you share with the world, your experience becomes reality. Same thing when you cause others to come and get initiated for higher reality, you are caused into the higher purpose, the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says extreme causing, extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So beautifully he explains how our strength is declared on Paramashiva. The power manifestation happens exactly in tune to that. And sharing with the world, continuously reiterating ourselves the experience that we had from the powerful cognition and manifesting the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, the beings of Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go on sharing and causing, which is the most important part of how you have experienced your reality. When you go to a temple, we pray and we see that beautiful experience happen in us, and then share with the world that how amazing the temple experience has manifested as your reality. Same way, when you manifest powers, when you share with the world, it becomes more and more the depth cognition of you, and you will be experiencing more powers. Even if you're manifested very small, it does not matter the quantity. Bhagavan says the quality is important. If it is authentic, please go ahead and share with the world. Do not doubt, have self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred come and block anything. Experience the ultimate in deep seeking and gratitude. Bhagavan manifest in you with a deep prayer, that asking Bhagavan to make this reality as your existential reality. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra. Thanking Bhagavan for all these great experience. We have come to the end of the power manifestation course, and we end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padaka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you for participating in the Jnana Paddhati, Nithyananda Jnana Paddhati course. Please go ahead and select more power manifestation and every day experience the ultimate reality for yourself. Nithyananda.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham